Well, ho ho ho, and welcome back to Gideon Stuff. It's, of course, Gideon Claus. How are you guys doing? Today we're going to be going over my favorite brands of 2022. Let's tilt this down a little bit. There we go. Before we get into that, though, we hit 1K on YouTube, and I am blown away. That is awesome. When we actually hit the mile marker, I was actually sick with COVID. So I was going to post like some videos like right after we hit being like, yeah, party time. But the Rona kind of put an end to that. However, I am grateful. That's amazing. And we are still doing that giveaway. I will be posting the entry video here in a little bit. Some of you have said that you have been interested in doing a live giveaway event. So you know what? I'm going to try and make that happen. We will see how that goes. But yeah, thank you all so much. The giveaway is still happening. I haven't forgot about you. But yeah, really, really cool. And it's really, really great to hit the 1K during this time of the year. The holiday season. It's a great, great holiday gift to me. So today we're talking about my favorite brands of 2022. I said this in the last video, but yeah, I don't handle everything. I mean, I don't think anyone handles everything. But, I don't handle a whole lot of stuff compared to some people. But I do handle enough to know what my favorites are. And even then, there's certain things where I see stuff on Blade HQ or Knife Center or something, and I'm like, ooh, that looks really, really great. So we'll also be taking that into consideration. So the first brand that we're going to talk about today is Simcut. Now, this is weird because not a lot of Civivis excite me. They really not a lot do. Simcut, though, I've really been enjoying. This is the Tainan. I reviewed quite a few Simcuts. There are quite a few that I want to get my hands on. I wish I could review, but they do great stuff. They're a budget brand, and we're seeing Civivi start to kind of climb into some higher echelons of price brackets, but Simcut has stepped up to kind of, take the place that Civivi at one point occupied. A little bit weird. But great little knife here, the Tainan. Simcut makes some really great stuff. And I enjoy a lot of things that they do. I really look forward to seeing what they do in 2023. Great brand. The next brand I want to talk about is Petrified Fish. And I've got this, not Beluga. This is a Victor. I've got this sitting here right now. Petrified Fish is so interesting because they consistently come in at like budget knife prices of 3 or 4 years ago. Like they're cheap, right? And that's really, really great because everything's getting more expensive. And so it's cool to see a budget knife brand that's still budget. And they're coming out with really cool designs. Every day it seems I see something from Petrified Fish that I hadn't seen before. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to try that out. That looks pretty good. Their fit and finish is absolutely incredible. They do some really, really great work. But yeah, definitely a brand to keep your eye on. One that I only became aware of last year. I think that was when they started making knives, was in 2021. But yeah, I've really been enjoying what they do. Really, really cool brand. Definitely one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Next brand I want to talk about is Vasteed. They've been doing some great stuff. This is the only Vasteed I've handled, but I've seen like the raccoon. Ooh, I want to get a raccoon. They look fantastic. This knife has been an absolute powerhouse of an EDC. This is the Nightshade. Vasteed, as far as I know, they're all made by Kaiser. Maybe a couple of them aren't. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But really, really cool knife company. They are pushing some designs that are different, a little bit exciting. They look good. They're doing things that, they're focusing on utilitarianism, it seems. Although I will say the Thunderbird, that was more of a, just fidget knife. But even then, that's cool, too. Who doesn't like to fidget? But definitely a brand that I've got my eyes on. And they are super, super cool. Speaking of Kaiser, Kaiser's a brand that I really liked this year. I haven't handled a whole lot of Kaisers. In fact, there was a time where I was staying away from Kaisers because I had a couple of bad experiences. But they're putting out some of the coolest knives of any company. They constantly have like their fat carbon series, their serape series. They have so much that just looks different and cool. They have so many designs. Like, oh my goodness, Kaiser's always releasing new designs, and a lot of them look really good. A lot of them look very, they partner with a lot of designers. And really, the only problem I can see with Kaiser is that maybe there's going to be a Kaiser burnout soon, just because they release so much stuff. But their fit and finish is good. Again, they've been having just some excellent designs come out. And yeah, I'm really, really hoping to get my hands on some more Kaisers going into 2023. Especially things like the Towser K and stuff. Like, I've been missing out on some of the heavy hitters from them, but really, really keep my eye on them. Next company, this is one that I've always loved and will always continue to love. I'm kind of in love with them. Cold Steel. This little knife here has been so much fun this year. This appeared in yesterday's video, but really, really awesome little knife. Cold Steel has this Atlas lock they're going with now. I think they can do a lot of stuff with this. This is definitely a more fidgety lock than the Triad lock, and I think they can get away with putting it on some EDC knives that will become very, very popular. But really enjoying Cold Steel. We've got this knife here. I also got this year new from them. I love the woods. New from them, the Engage. This was a very interesting knife. Not my favorite Cold Steel by any means, but a really interesting knife. I loved seeing them release new versions of some of their classics. Like all the new colors of the 8010s and the 8015s, the Formac Scouts. I really love seeing that. That made me very excited, and I can't wait to see more of that going on into the future. Shut up! They don't respect me. Stupid wildlife. Okay, next company, Bestech. This is a company I've been really, really impressed by. I've been a big fan of them for a long time. And this year, I didn't handle a whole lot of their new stuff, but they came out with a lot of things that I was very interested in. There's a lot of knives they had that caught my eye, and I was like, wow, that looks great. I would love to handle one of those. I got this knife recently. Their Bowie tie was a grail of mine. I've been hearing great things that they've really been stepping up their OEM work. They've launched a new budget line, Bestech Man, which has got my attention. Looks very, very cool. And overall, yeah, I'm just very excited to see what Bestech does going into 2023. They're one of my favorite companies. I think they have some great designs. They're not afraid to kind of step out and do things that might be a little bit weird, like the tonic they released this year, which was a Colin Mason Pierre design with his like backlock detent system thing. Bestech launched it as a production knife, and I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah, I'm just really excited to see what they come out with. So, Bestech, definitely on my list. Next, CJRB. I love CJRB. A lot of you guys know this, and it's not just because they, do the whole geology theme stuff. I think they make some really cool knives, and this year they have been coming out with some bangers and really showing everyone what they're capable of. Now, the CJRB Pyrite, I was going to mention it in the last video. I handled one very briefly. It was very good, but I didn't feel comfortable really talking about it because I haven't reviewed it, haven't really carried it or used it. I am working on getting one, so there will be a review of the CJRB Pyrite one of these days. But really solid EDC knife. CJRBD? What? CJRB has been doing great work with button locks. From what I hear, they've really been stepping up. They've been doing button locks really, really well. So I'm not the biggest fan of button locks, but I hear that they're doing them very well. So good. And like I said, the Pyrite I handled briefly was really, really excellent. And my favorite configuration for a button lock is thumb studs. So it's got that going for me. But yeah, CJRB, I love them so much because they're not afraid to do weird stuff like this. Like this knife here, it's big. It definitely has its own personality. But it's really a good knife, and it's very cool. And in a world where so many knives are starting to look so androgynous, it's good to see stuff like this. Like the Pyrite, good-looking knife. I really do like the way that knife looks. But yeah, it looks very androgynous. It looks like a lot of other knives. This knife, I mean, it is 100% itself. So the Caldera, CJRB in general, I'm really excited to see where they go. I've really, really enjoyed CJRB for a long time. And yeah, great brand, in my opinion. Another company I'm really looking forward to seeing in the future is Devo Knives. They took off this year. I mean, and it seems like everyone's been enjoying what they're doing. Two great people over there, Kevin Johnson and Colin Mason-Pierre, designing some great knives. I handled the Stout this year. Really, really liked it. And I have a Growler, or is it a Growler? Yeah, it's a Growler, not a mash. It's a Growler. I have a Growler on its way to me. And, but, you know, that's one of the companies that every time I see that they're doing something new, I get excited. And that's something that, to me, is kind of the mark of a good brand. You know, if you're interested in what they're doing next. Like, Civivi, they release something new, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty much par for the course. Although they do have some fixed blades coming out soon. I hope they're coming out soon. They're like prototypes right now, but they look really, really cool, so I'm kind of excited about those. But yeah, Devo Knives, definitely a brand that, you know, I look forward to seeing what they do next. Really, really great designs. Update. My Growler came in. Woohoo! I will say, so we got a nice little sticker. The box came with a single penis, which I thought was pretty funny. But let's go ahead and open this up, give a little bit of a first impressions in the middle of this Christmassy video. Ooh. Comes a little snack, of course. Presentation on this is fantastic. So there we go. Really nice packaging. Especially for a budget knife. Close that up, put that back, drop that over there. Alrighty, so I went with the Stonewash version, because of course I did. I love my Stonewashes. Centering looks dead on. I like that they do the clip filler tab. Ouch. Detent is a little bit weak. But ooh, that thumb flick is amazing. Great size, honestly. And I love that blade. It's basically all belly. I'm going to enjoy testing this, I can already tell. Maybe it just needs to break in a little bit, but yeah, detent's just a little bit weak. But we'll get that dialed in. Okay, back to the regular video. Alrighty, the next brand I want to talk about. The next brand that I'm going to be keeping an eye on in 2023. A brand that I really enjoyed in 2022. Camillus. So, Camillus does not really have a presence with the heavy hitters of the EDC knife world. But I gotta say, I mean, they make these cheap little knives here that Camillus releases that you can find at Walmart or Tractor Supply or other feed stores or, you know, whatever. I've really been enjoying them. They're cheap, and the materials are nothing high dollar, but they're just really, really well made, and they're good, solid EDC knives. And so I'm really excited to see what Camillus does in 2023. I really enjoyed handling some stuff like the Defy here in 2022, and it's just good to see a company that's cheap, but, you know, they're still trying to push value, and they're still trying to make things that are good for the everyday person, and that right there is worthy of note. So, Camillus, have at you. Alrighty, well, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I love winter, but I love Christmas especially. I love the feelings. I love the songs. I love, you know, all the goodies that come with Christmas. Love being off school for a little bit. You know, and so, yeah, I just want to pass on a little bit of that holiday spirit to you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season filled with family and friends and love, and hopefully some of you guys got some good knives as gifts or something. But, yeah, anyways, it's starting to get cold out here. So, oh, you know what? Sleeves! They were invented for a reason. Anyways, Merry Christmas. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. I've been Gideon. Adios.